Hey YouTube, what is going on? Brandon here with another ink installation video, and today we're going to be installing the ink on the Canon Pixma G1200. Basically what you're going to be doing here is you're going to be installing the print heads first, and then you're going to be installing the ink bottles. And so in this video I want to give you a step-by-step tutorial and a little bit more of a detailed video showing you exactly how to do that. If this video ends up being helpful, please make sure to like. Any questions at all, comment below. If you want more content like this, please make sure to subscribe. So these are your print heads, black and color. Black on the left, color on the right, the way I was holding them. And of course, on the print head, it's color first and black first. So you really want to make sure that you're putting these in correctly. Black needs to be facing you, and you put it in the black slot. Same thing with color. Color is going to be facing you, and you're putting it in the color slot. If you notice, there was one insert on the black. That's for the one insert for black ink. And the color print head had 3 inserts. Those 3 inserts are for the 3 different colors: yellow, magenta, and cyan. So now we're going to be installing the ink bottles. Now what you're going to be doing here is you're going to take off all the plastic from the bottles, and you're removing this ink cap from the ink tank so that you can then push this ink into the system. So normally with another printer, you would just leave the bottle at the top and the ink would flow into the tank. In this case, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to squeeze the bottle. Squeeze the bottle so that the ink fills up, and once the ink is completely full all the way up to that line, that's where you're going to stop. But you want to push all the ink into the system, because if you just let it sit there, it's not going to fill up in time. You're going to be sitting there all day, and most of the ink probably won't get out of the bottle. So you're pushing the ink all the way up until that line. Then you're going to cover that up. You're going to place the cap back onto the tank, and you're going to cover it, and then you're going to move on to the colors. All right, so it's the exact same process with the colors. Now, one quick word of warning. Make sure you're putting the correct ink bottle color into the correct ink tank compartment on the printer. Because if you mix up one of these colors, you're going to cause a whole lot of issues, and you really don't want to do that. So make sure from the beginning that your yellow is going into yellow, your magenta is going into magenta, and cyan is going into cyan. I get a lot of comments on my channel of people that made this mistake. So just double check that. And once that you're sure of that, then you can begin the process of placing the ink bottle into that ink tank and begin squeezing the ink. Now you do want to do somewhat of a mild squeezing. You don't want to do anything too crazy so that it doesn't splatter all over the place. And as you saw in the beginning there, the ink can spill out, so you could create a mess. So just have some paper towel on hand, and if you want to use gloves with this, that may be something you do want to do. Next, you're going to be moving on from yellow, and we're going to be filling up the magenta ink tank. Same exact process. Flipping the bottle upside down. Once the bottle is flipped upside down, you begin squeezing, and you squeeze up until that line. Once it reaches that line, you don't want to keep filling it up, because that is the limit that the tank can take. All right, so I did want to quickly recommend remanufactured ink. Remanufactured ink for this printer is going to be a lot less expensive, and it's going to be the exact same ink as the OEM ink. So you're going to save money, you have the same type of ink, and there's no error codes because there's no chips involved with this type of ink. So I'm going to leave a link for that in the description below. All right, so now once you've made sure that all the colors are completely full, what you're going to do is you're going to close everything up, and you're going to allow the printer to charge the ink. From this point on, what's going to happen is the ink is going to be filled into the print head, and then the rest of the setup can happen. Once that ink is charged into the print head and the setup is complete, then you can begin printing. So if you found this video to be helpful, please make sure to like. Any questions at all, comment below. And if you wanted more content like this, please make sure to subscribe. But that's really all I have for today. I thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time.